Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this best of 3 Neon Esports versus exclamation mark. This is the semi-finals of the Open Qualifiers. The winner of this goes on to play PJ Barracks, and if you're able to win that best of 3, you can make it into the closed qualifiers for the MDL Disneyland Major. And who doesn't want to go to Disneyland? So anyway, game number 2 saw exclamation mark with Teehee Sven just not being able to, them not finding anything to be able to counter it from the side of Neon Esports. Sven absolutely rampaged through their entire lineup, and them taking advantage of a few key heroes without buyback and going to claim the throne for the side of exclamation mark. And that brings us right here to game number 3. Neon has one, exclamation mark has one, so it feels like we're right back in the best of ones. So let's jump into the draft and see what is going on. Bounty Hunter Razor as well as this Leshrac SEA, really liking this hero. There's the Oracle ban. Oracle, we've been seeing him first picked and banned, as well as the Nature Prophet and Chen. He's slipped through in some of our other series, but he's been seeing a lot of play in the Major, and I guess if Neon plays him well, you don't want to let that Sven through the draft. So first pick for Neon, they're taking the Nyx Assassin. Nyx Assassin just offers a lot of a lockdown, and more importantly, perhaps, even more vision.
5 seconds remaining.
Exclamation mark, eating into their reserve time here to think about their first pick.
Earth Spirit.
And they're going for the Earth Spirit. Are they going to pick up a Darkseer with it right now? If not, I expect to see Darkseer banned out. They might take their 5 position, reveal their 4-on-5. That's not such a crazy opening. Neon, I like the pickup of the Nyx Assassin because it dissuades exclamation mark from picking JG's Ember Spirit, which we saw that do a lot of work in the last game that we caught the end of.
Radiant team pick.
But there we go. They do take their 5 position in the Bane. So I think we can expect to see Neon, one of their bans in the next phase will be that Darkseer, unless they take it themselves. There's nothing wrong with an Iron Shell Invis hero.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team back.
And the Abaddon. Okay. This is the hero we've seen a tiny bit of in the Major. I haven't seen it played in any of the SEA games so far. Maybe because I haven't been watching Neon. This might be a hero they favor. I think you play it in the 5 position. I mean, he used to be an offlaner, but in the 5 position, he does offer a lot of utility. Has a heal, and he also has that aphotic shield. So you get stunned, you instantly get saved. So I like this pickup of the Abaddon. You know, Earth Spirit rolls in, you just put an aphotic shield, someone's no longer stunned or slowed. Like Ned, aphotic shield.
Dire team ban.
Anyway, the Ember Spirit banned out, even though they have the Nyx Assassin as well as that Lifestealer. Troll, we've seen a lot of this being SEA banned.
Dire team pick.
And the Ursa ban. Okay, so maybe they're thinking about a melee offlaner. I think that makes a lot of sense if you ban out the Ursa. Or even a melee core like the Juggernaut. Just the Ursa has such a good matchup versus him that you don't want to let him go through.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
So now we're into the second phase, and there we go. The ban of the Ursa did say to me that they wanted something like the Juggernaut, and there it is.
Dire team pick.
And the Shadow Shaman. Okay, so this probably is an offlane Abaddon with the 5-position Shadow Shaman. Abaddon, good versus the Juggernaut. He should have a decent time laning, I think. And, I mean, you're still able to run him down with spin, though, actually.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
So I'm curious here. So they have the Shadow Shaman. They probably show that offlaner here on exclamation mark. Don't know who it's going to be laning against, but you know there's no Ursa, so I think you can pick a hero fairly easily. The Darkseer actually wasn't panned out, so you can go Darkseer Earth Spirit, I think. I honestly really like the idea of the Darkseer. Obviously, he is able to be stunned up by that Spike Carapace from that Iron Shell damage.
Radiant team pick.
Tide Hunter.
But they take the Tide Hunter, so just getting some big team fight. A big tanky boy who's able to stay in the lane and hopefully harass out whatever carry Neon picks. It's very difficult to lane versus a Tide Hunter. Unless, I guess you could pick a Monkey King for the side of Neon, but I'm not sure if they want to run that in the safe lane.
10 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
Hi there.
Ten seconds remaining.
So they pick that Viper. I don't know if this... No, it probably is a mid lane Viper, because Viper really relies on the levels. But it is worth noting that Viper lanes well versus the Tide Hunter. He has that ability to break. They're not going to reduce that damage of the Kraken Shell. And obviously a high amount of magic damage. He doesn't really care about getting his last hits reduced. His base attack damage reduced. They ban out the Terrorblade. A hero who, in the later of the stages of the game, can definitely lane versus the Juggernaut.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know what happened there, but we seem to... The game's still functioning, but we can't see the heroes. Oh, I disconnected. Wow, okay. I was booted off the server. Let's hope I can reconnect. I hope that was just a lag spike.
Radiant team ban.
Okay, we're back in the game. A bit of a weird thing. Did other people disconnect? I guess I can't tell. Anything here? Okay. Anyway, we're back in the game. It's a bit of a worry there, but let's hope everything's going okay.
Remaining.
As I was saying, this Terrorblade ban, once he gets to the later stages Juggernaut, you can't do anything about him.
Radiant team pick.
So they ban a Puck. Does that mean they're going to have someone who's very reliant on some spell usage? We'll see what Neon goes for. As for major carries left in the pool, Troll's gone, Terrorblade's gone. It's difficult without looking at it. I've been playing...
10 seconds.
There's Naga
remaining.
Siren I've been playing a bit of. I enjoy that hero.
5 seconds remaining.
But I'm not totally sure. They have 1 minute to make their mind up, though, for the side of Neon.
Dire team pick.
Morphling.
And they're taking the Morphling. Okay. That park ban makes a lot of sense now. The park with the instant silence, maybe with a built-in Dagon later, it offers the ability to blow up the Morphling. I really like the Morphling versus Juggernaut matchup.
10 seconds remaining.
He's one of the few heroes who's able to strength morph and just hit you while you're spinning.
5 seconds remaining.
So, 25 seconds remaining now for exclamation mark. Figure out who do they want their mid laner to be. Someone who can lane versus the Viper, that surely aren't many of them. And who can help them fight this Morphling in the later game. They're taking all their time, making sure that they've done their calculations and they're checking it twice. And they've gone for the Shadow Fiend versus Viper. So, I'll tell you the one reason I think this is okay. And it's because both these heroes, Mark, the Viper and the Shadow Fiend, they both use their spells. You know, you throw out a bunch of raises, you throw out another toxic, you push out the lane, you go to farm the jungle. Both these heroes are going to do that, so they're not really fighting each other. But as it gets into the later game, you know, when Viper gets his Atos, I think that Shadow Fiend might just be food. So, the one thing I like about the Shadow Fiend is, firstly, he'll be building Guardian Greaves. That's what Shadow Fiends will be building nowadays. If he gets that at a decent time period, he'll be able to purge off the Atos, so Viper won't be able to make him sit still. And it looks like exclamation mark realize they have to take this earlier game. They have to push before Scuddylicious Morphling comes online. So, with that presence aura effects buildings, they will be able to get that early push with the Guardian Greaves of JG. But let's see how this game goes down. I think I do favor the Neon Esports lineup because, you know, they don't really have a timing pressure. If, you know, at any point Neon are ahead and they're not losing fights, they're probably going to win the game because they can just play it slowly, play it out. But the impetus is on exclamation mark on this dire side to be able to push the game towards their tempo.
Boiling rage. Bow to your lord.
So instant smoke out from the Radiant side. We have a pause from the Dire side to wait for the Earth Spirit. As well as the Shadow Fiend. It looks like more people with high pings. We're getting a lot of smiley faces from the Tide Hunter, it looks like. Shut up, Ilimak Yobag. I don't know what that's about. If anyone in chat, when you see these, can give me some translations, but it looks like they're having a bit of fun. And everyone is here now for the side. No, hashtag disconnected again into the Shadow Fiend.
Bow to your lord. Bow to your lord. Looking good. The house of which is only.
My prayers are answered.
You will be forever alone.
Better luck next time. Bane of your existence.
We'll turn this tide to our advantage.
We have all the voice lines coming out. People having a lot of fun while they wait for this Shadow Fiend to reconnect. He has reconnected. Let's hope his ping is a bit better. Go when ready. And thank you, sorry. This is what I like. They have all the respect for each other, these teams. It's really a pleasure to see. So, if they manage to get the smoke on all 5 of their heroes, Scudilicious actually going to the mid lane. So they are matching this Viper up against the Tidehunter. I said this is an advantageous matchup, but I really thought they might just put the Viper middle. Worth noting is that Morphling versus SF, Morphling hits very hard, and if he's able to get most of those denies, stop the SF getting stacks of Necromastery, this mid lane could become very difficult for the Shadow Fiend, especially once you get some points in the Adaptive Strike. Shadow Fiend, not a very high health hero. Play hard and Rappy, just playing together. Noria, he does see play hard, gonna level some last hits. He has taken the brain sap, so he's more than happy to be willing to trade. Just zoning out this Bane. Just the Shadow Shaman's base damage is absolutely insane. It's so hard. It's what makes him such a strong laning support, as well as the damage and control he offers. I feel like every game I watch now has a Shadow Shaman in it. But even though he has that heal on Noya, Playhard just honestly hits so damn hard. And it looks like they are going for the full tri-lane. So they are going to give Mark that one-on-one lane because they want him to get that experience. And when he gets high experience, he will be able to kill this Tidehunter. Hashtag Alia. It looks like he is rotating to the mid lane. Wow. Interesting. Shadow Fiend took the raises at level 1. Realizes he wasn't going to be able to get any CS versus the higher base damage on the Morphling. So he went for the raises. Morphling, he has the ability of... They know he doesn't have the waveform because he's still level 1. So Alia rolling in, but really no follow-up damage to be able to kill him. And this Morphling, he already has his salve online. He is still sitting here, but Scudilicious with his level 2. Actually, he's taken Adaptive Tribe, so still no waveform. He is morphing into strength, but do they have enough damage to bring him down? I don't think so. Scudilicious has his salve, and he'll probably pop it fairly soon. So, sorry, I take it back. This is Rappy is their offlaner, so it's an offlane Nyx assassin, and is the support of the Abaddon, like we said, but he's being slowed up. It looks like he might be first blood. The mango for the raises, but the deny just in time. What great play there by JL. Getting that deny just in time. Timed it absolutely perfectly between the raises. And with that heal, he's helping Scudilicious stay at decent health. But SF, having used these raises to farm, is actually maintaining a CS advantage versus the Morphling. It looks like we're just having a 2-on-2 mid lane. But Mark more than happy to trade against the Tidehunter, who's sitting in the Nether Toxin. You need to be careful about this. Nether Toxin, you just underestimate the amount of damage it does. It's so powerful. And Teehee having a decent time in this top lane. But the Nyx Assassin is the one who's farming slightly better. But with this Bane going for the pull, they'll soon have the lane equilibrium where they want it. Looks like Alia rotated bottom lane, realizing that Whelp needed the help. I like the fact that that one rhymes.
Bow to your lord.
Sitting on the side here is Alia. Is he going to try and complete the roll? This Viper, he is pretty tanky, but they have the gush. They have the slow. They also have the roll as well. Is that going to be enough damage? They're sitting inside the Nether Toxin, but I think they are going to be able to break him down. And well, able to gain first blood with the help of this Earth Spirit. But it looks like they're running after Teehee. He does have the spin as well as the healing ward. They don't have any more lockdown, but they do have a bunch of right clicks. And he's going to wait for this spin to end and go for the Ether Shock if he's in range. There you go with the Impale as well as the Ether Shock. They are able to clean up Teehee. Noya just completing these pulls, not there to be able to protect his Juggernaut. So this mid lane, it has gone in favor of the Morphling now that it's been left into a pure 1v1 situation. Just the bonus right click damage, the 2 bands of agility. I think the usual build is you see a 3rd band of agility. Yeah, there we go. And then you'll probably see boots and then Mask of Death so that he's able to farm the jungle. Thank you very much, chat. We're 5 minutes later, so I am seeing your translations of what they said, so I thank you very much for telling me. But we have a roll forward. No, it looks like it was just a roll to be able to get to the mid lane quicker. Over here, contesting the 5-minute runes. They have 10 seconds. But it looks like Teehee's been able to zone them out. But JL, he actually has a DD. But, well, being level 5, I don't think he's going to be able to contest this. They do have Gush, as well as the Aphotic Shield. But I don't think he wants to use it before he gets affected by Gush. Because then otherwise, he'll be able to run him down with the Tide Hunter. So, 2 for 2 rune exchange. But this mid lane, it looks like it's not going badly for JG. But Scuddylicious, he'll have his Mask of Death next. He needs to be careful about sitting at this low health because Ale is here. He rolls in, but he doesn't connect. They have the slow, but it's not going to be enough. He does have points in the strength morph, but he needs to fly out some sort of regen. He's eating through some tangos, but I think he's going to need a little bit more than that. They TP away on the Tide, but they're able to get the kill. Nice rotation there by Playhard, as well as the level 3 Nether Toxin doing work. And remember, this means there won't be a TP for the Tide. So he's going to have to take the long walk back to lane. Looks like they're going to have a 3-man shower here at this shrine for Neon. Alia is protecting this regen rune for his Shadow Fiend. And I expect to see Shadow Fiend... No, they're actually looking for a kill. I thought he might try to use the razors just so he's able to get extra farm with this regen rune. But Nether Toxin, he's stealing the Viper stack. He'll be able to do this thanks to his razors, but they are getting a whole bunch of them. They are still sitting, but there you go. The Rays taking the 2 big creeps. But now Shadow Fiend, he needs to be careful to roll forward. They slept up Playhard, but there we go. They got off the shackles. They were able to remove the sleep just in time. Playhard, they're tanking a whole bunch of razors, but they need to be careful here. But the Ravaged, and with that, they're going to be able to kill off the Viper, as well as Playhard on his Shadow Shaman. A big fight there for Hashtag in this bottom lane, but this has given Scuddylicious a bunch of time to himself. But Noya finding JL behind the tower, just with a quick Brain Sap, I think, finishing him off. Yep, Brain Sap and a right click. So the rotation of the Shadow Fiend to the bottom lane, surely making big inroads there. So Scuddylicious, tanking 1 raise gets him down to half health. This is why people say it's not balanced. They have the sleep, but he did manage to get the strength morph in time, so they end the nightmare and get the 2nd raise. That's a big kill on Scuddylicious. Great play there by Hashtag. Really nice communicating the timings with the Shadow Fiend. And I think if we have a look at the net worth, thanks to all these kills, JG will probably be our leader. But Rappy has got his level 6. They do have a sentry in this mid lane. He needs to be careful with that haste rune. He slept up. They're taking the haste rune. Are they going to be able to get this kill? He does have Spike Carapace, so he needs to be careful. He's stunned, but he gets the Spike Carapace off in time. It's a double impale, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough. The body block's coming out, but Playhard and Morphling. He's turning into the SF. He's using the razors. What a great use by Scuddylicious with the 3rd raise, killing the Shadow Fiend with his own skills. Great turnaround there by Scuddylicious, showing who's the better SF player, even when he's not playing SF. Scuddylicious with that double kill. Brain sap doesn't mean much. It is... Actually, it's a level 3 brain sap, so it hits pretty damn hard. But Mark, he is farming the jungle. This is the advance. One of the great things about the Viper, the 4 points in the Nether Toxin. Creeps are just food for you. JL just trying to heal up his Morphling of Scuddylicious and Shadow Fiend. He's going back to the jungle to try and recover after that death. He does want to be tangling with the Morphling. Morphling does do a lot of magic burst once he gets more points into the Adaptive Strike. Nice D-ward here in this mid lane. It means the Nyx Assassin knows that he can't feel safe going there. Well, let's have a switch over to the net worth. We're at the 9.5 minute mark. And actually, Whelp, after defeating that Viper in the bottom lane, they get the break. They have the Impale now sitting in the Nether Toxin. And that's one very dead. Very dead Watermelon. So, as I was saying, Tidehunter doing great after they killed the Viper, but with that death, he might fall a tiny bit behind.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Play Hard hasn't hit his level 6, so they don't have Serpent Wards to be able to push this. I also do want to say that they do have 2 sources of break. I do forget that the change to Vendetta where it breaks, and that means that you can remove the Necromastery and the presence of the Dark Lord, I think. So the SF doesn't do a bunch of damage, hits with the DD, and now he's going to try and chase down Rappy, but just zoning him out. Nice use of the Spike Carapace to be able to escape there. But what you can see, Scuddylicious is number 1 of the net worth. He did complete the Blutes, the 3 Wraith Bands, and Mask of Death. Sorry, Morbid Mask, not Mask of Death. Morbid Mask next for him. So we predicted his build accurately. Our Dota knowledge isn't total trash. They have the Hex. They're onto the Tide again. And remember, they break him. They use it off cooldown. They need one more Nether Toxin. Ravage, turn around. But is there anyone else coming in? The Abaddon. He uses his ultimate, so now he just wants to be tanking damage. He heals up, play hard with that Dream Coil. They're going to be able to get the kill on Noya. They need one more hit with the poison attack. But Noya, he's walking away. It looks like they want Whelp. He's sitting in the Nether Toxin and the Impale. They're going to get another kill onto Whelp. So they go for the bigger kill and they are able to get it. And they find Elia TPing away, play hard, not in range, as Hex and Shackles, they are on cooldown as well. So Teehee, I feel like we haven't seen much out of him. He was laning happily against the Nyx Assassin. But you can see the side of Neon, all their cores are now ahead. He doesn't have his ultimate here on JL. I think you could just go for a bit more aggression onto him after you clear out the wave. But Rappy, they're rotating in. The Impale, it's definitely not going to connect through that spin. But they should be able to get this mid-tier 1 deny. But they're bringing in Noya. He's not level 6 early either. Trying to burn the mana off Teehee. Just zoning them out so they're able to deny this gold of the tier 1 tower away from the side of Excel. So 3k advantage for the side of Neon so far. Abaddon being stepped up. He pops his ultimate to be able to walk away. And it looks like all 4 of them going to be gathered onto the Shrine Neon. They've had a bunch of group shrines together. They must really enjoy it. Over here, they have the Impale as well as the Sleep. And I just don't think you're being able to get away on this Bane. Sorry, I said they started with the Impale, but they started with the Spike Carapace and then follow up with the Impale. There's a lot of control offered onto that Bane. And getting the nice D-ward. Did this ward just expire? I think it did. Or did Tide eat through it with the Quelling Blade? I'm not quite sure. We can have a look. Yes, Tidehunter, he got the Observer Ward just in time with that Quelling Blade. So, Viper, he will have... How much is that? That's a 750. He's honestly going to have it fairly soon. He flies out the recipe as well as the Rod of Atos. You can pick up the last crown from this side shop over here. SF should be building those Guardian Greaves, I think. He'll have Mechanism in about 200 gold. And every time I see JL, he is just healing up Scuddylicious, making sure his Morphling is staying nice and healthy. Oh, Scuddylicious didn't actually buy the Morbid Mask. He's completed the Yasha first. That's really interesting. I mean, that is why we see him needing to be healed, but I guess he just wants even more damage. Instead of farming AFK.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top
So
tower
Scarlylicious successfully taking a Dire tower. The score currently 7-5. But it looks like they will be looking to claim a tower of their own. Ravage is off cooldown. Also completing the pipe. He really needed this to sustain against the Viper here on Whelp. But they found Noya again. He does have level 6. They do miss the Impale. And he's healing up in the Shrine. The Sleep as well as the Fiend Script. But instantly popping that to be able to walk away. He comes in. He's using the Omni Slash on top of them. And he is able to claim the life of the Abaddon Rappy. He doesn't have any invisibility or Spike Carapace, but they do have play hard over here. They've dropped the Serpent Wards, nice Impale, as well as the Healing Ward. Are they going to be able to walk away? Scarlylicious, he's turned into Juggernaut, so he's not going to be able to take any more magic damage. He uses the Waveform, but nice use of the Nightmare to be able to save himself there. But the Viper, he's rotated into big Ravage Requiem on the back line. They are healing up with the help of that Strength buff. But now, well, they're pursuing Mark, and he's the one they want. They've dropped the drums over on Teehee, so they're running forward. Scarlylicious, he goes for that long stun, and this fight has gone on so long that Jail is able to come back. Playhard, it seems he wasn't killed. You need to be really careful on the Bane about walking in since Viper's Nether Toxin, and it looks like Playhard, he's going to pay for that over-aggression. So a great fight there from the side of Question Mark. They turned around all that initiation onto the Bane, just fighting near the Shrine. They had the TPs, they had the Ravage. So I think that was a 3-0, and it was. So 1k gold advantage gained from that fight by Hashtag. I really thought Scarlylicious would have been able to more with that Juggernaut morph. But Mark, he just wasn't there in time with the Viper and the Atos to allow them to be able to claim any kills on their end. In the mid lane, Teehee, he doesn't have Omni Slash, but he does have the spin. So he's more than happy to push out this wave so that the Viper can't get it. But now spin on cooldown. They have the Hex as well as the Atos. He's held. He has the Healing Ward, but I don't think it's going to save him. He's taking so much damage. And Mark, he's also going to get the plus 75 gold. And with that, DD on Rappy, I don't think they even need it to push this mid tower. But actually, he's going to go for a big Assassinate here. Is he going to see Noya? He sees Noya. He get a very big DD Assassinate here. He needs to be careful about going under this tower. They are pushing in this wave. Use their DD. He now reveals himself. They're trying to kill off this Titan. It's going to be really easy. He's sitting inside the break as well as the supports. But Leia, it's a good use of the Magnetize as well as Whelp. Using that pipe, he's able to TP away. He doesn't have his ultimate. He's sitting in the break as well as the Nether Toxin. They're going to be able to kill off Whelp. Roll in from Aliyah. So they're able to get, I think that was 2 kills for the side of Neon. But now farming up these wards is Teehee, so they haven't managed to claim this tier 1 mid.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
So let's have a think about how this game is going. Scarlylicious has been having this uncontested farm. So I think the fact that the Morphling is so big and the fact that the Viper is so big, I think Neon definitely has the advantage. They have the better late game lineup. They have a 5k advantage. Even if they're sitting even with kills, just Juggernaut and SF, they are going to fall off. And I don't think they've been able to take as many towers as they hoped in this early stage of the game. Because they have, you know, these 2 tier 1s still remaining. You might have been able to take tier 1 mid, but you wanted to open up more map control. You wanted to shut down the ability of Scarlylicious to farm. And they just haven't been able to do that. Scarlylicious even has the full S and Y completed. I'm actually surprised that he hasn't gone for Manta, considering there is the Silence of the Earth Spirit. But he just must want that increased status resistance. Rappy pushing out this top wave. If they're able to go in with the Beans Kit, they roll forward, but he gets the Spike Carapace just in time, so he's able to walk away safely. They do have vision thanks to this ward on the high ground. It does, he does manage to kill it, but not before the Fiend's Grip. So with that kill of Rappy, they will be able to claim this tier 1 tower. We just said how the Dire side, they want to be claiming towers. But Scarlylicious, they with the help of the rest of his team, is able to take this tier 1 in mid.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Teehee, however, he isn't letting up. with this push. And I do like the Juggernaut's build. He is building the Diffuser Blade. It's really important to try and get rid of this Morphling's mana. But look who they found on the backside. Tidehunter, he does get off a successful Ravage, but there's no follow-up for the rest of his team. And I just don't think, well, that's probably the sound he's making right now. With the Hood, it's just not quite enough. Running to the high ground is Alia. They're going to be able to find this healing ward. Actually, he doesn't manage to kill it with JL. I thought he'd be able to get it. But Requiem on the background, and now they might be feeling like they need to retreat. Skydylicious, he has turned himself into the bait. The Omnichest is tanked up by Mark as well as Rappy, and he shows himself. He goes for the Vendetta hit, and they're holding him in place with those shackles. A massive team fight for the side of Neon, killing 3, wasting the Ravage, and I think that's probably going to be a tier 2 tower once the creeps arrive. They have nothing to fear, knowing that the Tidehunter and the Ravage are down.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And will they push forward for even more without Ravage? No, it looks like they're going to play it safe, and they might go into Roshan. The Morphling, he hits so hard. I think you're very happy to be able to do this. And someone has made the kill. JL, no points in the Curse of Avernus yet, so you don't get that increased attack speed. But Skydylicious, remember, he heals for as much as he hits, and he hits for 200. How much does Roche hit for? Yeah, Roche only hits for 140. So the Skydylicious hits more than hard enough to be able to farm this Roshan. And talking of Guardian Greaves almost being completed, and he has them on the Shadow Feed, and he's going to have them on this Viper. They have so much to say, and another catch here by Playhard. Bane, he wanted the rune, but he's held in place by the Atos. He's going to look at it tantalizingly, but he's not able to get it. They take it in front of his face. They have the Spirit Vessel, and that is a dead Bane. This game looking worse and worse for the side of hashtag. They've lost Roshan, a DD on Teehee, but it looks like they don't even care. They set up the Impale. They're going to kill the Healing Ward. He's sitting inside this. He doesn't actually have a TP, and with no TP, he doesn't have the Omnisash. He's held in place by the Atos, and that's going to be a kill on your core of the Juggernaut again. Teehee, he's not playing like as well as he played in the last game on that Sven. He's not unkillable. JG building the BKB of himself, but they're about to lose their last tier 2 tower, and they don't even need Skydylicious for this push. And talking of Skydylicious, I mean, who doesn't like it more than when he goes for the item that he's named after? They'll have that Skady fairly soon, and remember, they have the increased attack speed thanks to Sabaton. They have Guardian Greaves giving them all the sustain, and they have Aegis on the Morphling, so I don't think they're going to stop. Ravage is off cooldown, but they just throw down the Serpent Wards. They have so much push for this side of Neon. And that's just an easy tier through. He's trying to farm the water, but he's held inside the Atos. He doesn't have the BKB. They use the Viper Strike. They might have got the ultimate, but I think that might be a dead. JG here. The Avalanche is going on across all of them. Is it going to be able to kill off the Abaddon? Yes, it is now. Skydylicious, he's held inside. He takes actually off the sleep off his fellow Viper, because his Viper, he doesn't have Aegis, but they're trying to run them down. And they have the slow, and I think they might be able to kill Mark. He uses the Guardian Greaves in time. He turns himself into the Earth Spirit here on Skydylicious, and they allow him to claim the kill on the person he's stolen. Well, nice impale there from Rappy. The Guardian Greaves, it does save Teehee for a tiny bit, but remember, they haven't taken the Aegis. Skydylicious, he's using the Strength Morph. He rolls forward. He misses Teehee, but Rappy, he's there. He's held inside the Aegis. He doesn't have spin, and they've killed the Juggernaut. He doesn't have any buyback. They've managed to get the Spirit Vessel onto AG, and now Skydylicious, he has absolutely zero health. He's not afraid of anything because he has this Aegis, but Rappy's making sure he doesn't go for that second. Sorry, that second raise while Skydylicious, he blows up this Bane, and this game, it's looking firmly in the hands of Neon. They're taking their barracks. They buy back on almost all of them, but Juggernaut, he just has no buyback, and make sure he doesn't TP in. That TP, they're just not afraid of it here on Skydylicious. He is silenced, but he got the Strength Bolt off of that. Sitting in the Atos is this Shadow Fiend. He doesn't have the Guardian Greaves to be able to heal up. Will they be able to kill him with the waveform and a few more right clicks on Skydylicious? They sure as hell will be. The kill actually going to JL. They buy back on the Shadow Fiend, but they're looking for even more. Sitting in this Nether Toxin is almost everyone. Mark, he's just been throwing out these Nether Toxins whenever they're off cooldown. Remember that you do heal. TP away. The TP is stopped by the Rolling Boulder, so I think they might be able to kill this Viper at long last, but not without him doing a whole bunch of damage to their base. Someone wants me to check kill deaths assists, so we'll have a quick look at them. You can see on top is Skydylicious and Playhard. has been doing so much work the whole dire side. 4 deaths for most of them. Sorry, they killed the SF on the backline and he has no buyback. They'll probably just wait for Mark and then they're going to claim this other lane of barracks in mid. They have the Serpent Wards and he's so close to the Aghanim Scepter. Here on Play Hard, he didn't feel like he needed to go for the initiation of the Blink. So they're just going to wait for their Viper. They're going to claim this Outer Shrine.
Radiant structures are fortified.
There's a double damage rune here. I don't even know if they see it. JL calling a pause for their Viper. But at this stage, the game feeling firmly in the hands of Neon. Remember, the winner of this game does go on to play PJ Barracks. And at the moment, it's surely looking like it's going to be Neon. We're just waiting for the Viper to return. And we do see him. He's back, better than ever. Mark, ready to respawn, ready to go into this game, ready to finish it out. And go for the final best of 3 before they get into those main qualifiers for this MDL major. So Mark, sitting at base, what is he building? He has Guardian Grooves and he's built up a full pipe, going for the Aghanim Scepter next. The Aghanim's something we very often see on these Atos Guardian Grooves Vipers. That's Scuddylicious. He has his namesake item. Man, this guy is just so fun. They still haven't scouted out this DD. It'll be there for another minute. The pings come to go check the rune. But Shadowsham, does he have Aghanim Scepter? He needs a tiny bit more gold. I think they'll wait his Aghanim Scepter, considering how close he is. 100 more gold, and if he helps to get the last hit on the shrine, he'll be able to get it. But with these bounty runes, they're able to get all 4 because the side of hashtag are pinned inside their base.
Dire's top shrine has fallen.
So I think they'll wait for the Shadow Shaman's Aghanim Scepter, and then they are going to push this high ground. This double damage, it looks like no one's going to go get it. 4 neglected double damage. Aghanim Scepter is on top of the Shadow Shaman now.
Double damage.
So with all waves pushing in except for bottom, and bottom you don't really need to push in. They have drawn a yellow line, but they have top and middle pushing in. Usually 2 waves is enough to be able to get a successful push. Look at where these wards have been placed by hashtag. They're so pinned inside their base that they're just trying to get a tiny bit more vision.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
To play hard, just making sure that the waves are in their control. They've managed to push out mid a fair amount, but Scuddylicious, he's just more than happy to go into the high ground. The Abaddon playing the sacrificial role, taking off. It's a big ravage. It's onto 3 of them, but Scuddylicious, he did have the spin, but the Fiend's Grip hit's going to hold him through it. It's already attached onto the back lines, but the Guardian Greens for the Viper. They don't actually manage to get down these Aghanim Serpent Wards, but they still might not win the fight anyway. They're rolling back. They've killed off the Tide Hunter. He was the tanky one. Scuddylicious, again, he's slept up by the Bane. But it looks like they don't really care. Despite Carapace, he tanks the raise here on the SF, and that's going to be the end of his life. They know he doesn't have buyback, and Noya actually called GG. Neon, they're going through to fight PJ Barracks in the next round. Congratulations to Neon. You've made it through to the finals. One more best of 3.